Right, can someone explain to me why things are getting so bloody expensive? Because for £80, this is what I've got.
It's alright, I can wait until the new year. I'll do it in the new year. I said I'll take care of it in the new year. It's not the new year yet. You know what? It's not that important.
What the fuck's that? What the fuck is that?
I cry over £1,000 because of Rachel Reeves. Can't wait for next year. Come on, Rachel, give it to us.
The cost of food in this country is now actually out of control. 12 quid for olive oil. I don't want to spend 12 quid on a bottle of anything that doesn't at least have the potential to leave me passed out in the kitchen with a kebab in my hand.
Why are millions of Brits leaving for Dubai, Spain, Monaco and various other places? Why are they leaving then, if it's such a great place?
Well, I think people are leaving Britain for loads of reasons. Tax, cost of living, all the rest of it. But London is still thriving. London, Charlie
Really?
obviously. Otherwise it would be empty. It's not, it's still thriving.
I'll tell you what, for a newsreader, you're just talking rubbish. You're absolutely rubbish. London is thriving. Are you having a laugh?
I think we should take...
No, I live here. I love
Charlie,
it.
calm down.
You've got all the homeless people on the streets. You've got all the high streets shut. You've got people scared to go out at night, and businesses can't hardly survive.
This is probably the most 30-something video I've ever done. But I've just done our big shop at M&S for the week, if you would, and it cost £120. I am not sure. I mean, I've got 4 bags of shopping. So, right, okay. First bag, I got these chicken cordon bleu, which is for New Year's Eve because we're just staying in. And I got the lamb mint. Got one of the stir fry pack things, so you get the meat, the sauce, noodles, and some veg, I think, somewhere else that goes with that. I got some beef mince and some lamb shish kebabs. I got this celeriac remoulade slaw, which is 10 out of 10 if you haven't had that. You're missing out, it's really, really good. Got this.
Welcome to Blighty Blighted, your daily reminder that New Year in Britain isn't a fresh start. It's a financial hangover. New Year's Day used to be about hope. Now it's about opening your banking app very slowly and whispering, "Oh no, I really am a skint bastard." The cost of living doesn't reset in January. It sharpens its elbows. Bills land immediately, rent wants paying, and the food cupboard looks like it's been looted by desperate relatives. Nothing says Happy New Year like an electricity bill that makes you question your life choices. People are broke, tired, and pretending they're optimistic. Supermarkets roll out healthy eating promotions, all more expensive than the food that made us miserable in December. Apparently, poverty tastes better if it's labelled Fresh Start. Then come the New Year resolutions: save money, eat better, get fitter. All admirable, right up until the rent, council tax and energy bills kicked them to death. In my late 90s, I don't make resolutions anymore. I make calculations.
Green beans. All the hell is this? Some salad. These really cute little carrots. They were reduced actually. That is the stir fry pack that goes with the noodles and whatever else. Got some baby corn, the sauce that goes with the pasta, and then some edamame beans, kimchi, and some dried tomatoes. And that's everything. That's literally £120 food apparently. Don't know, I mean, I do feel like I've actually got quite a lot. When you see it like this, it does seem like quite a lot, to be fair. But yeah, cost of living's gone mad. There is something really satisfying about putting a shop away in the fridge looking like this. And I am very aware how old that makes me sound, but I bet you will agree.
I know why it's even more impressive you're in shape in the UK now. Cost of living and how much it actually costs to get in shape. Like, I just went to Tesco to get some sourdough, some jam and some peanut butter, and it was about 8 or 9 quid. Yesterday, before the class, I wanted a quick bit of protein and some electrolytes, so I grabbed a Lucozade Sport and a protein bar, £4.80. Everything's so expensive, or you could just be like a fat twat and get like a pot noodle and a dairy milk bar and a Russell burger, and that'll probably cost you a fiver. So just know if you see somebody in shape in the UK now, they're spending a good bit of their wage to look like.
Okay, so a very quick one, because it's Christmas. We've all got better things to do than listen to this baldy Babylon. It's been a tough year, personally and also across the wider UK. High costs, low trust. A lot of people are trying to stay afloat. We know this. It's sad, but look, here's the honest bit. People are still showing up. Communities are still trying to hold it all together, and conversations that have been ignored for years are finally getting round to happening. This fills me with just a little bit of hope. So going into 2026, let's face it, nobody's expecting miracles, but we can hopefully get a little bit more honesty, a little bit less spin. Maybe we'll have a little bit more backbone, and hopefully people will demand better from those in charge. If you've watched, if you've commented, if you've argued and disagreed and thought I've been a twat this year, whatever it might be, thank you very much. Have a good Christmas, and let's enjoy the new year and go into 2026 with a little bit more clarity and a whole lot more strength. Goldman, peace out.
Like, it's not even a full shop. It's like a refill shop. And that was 80 quid. I mean, I think the most expensive thing there were the Diet Cokes, which was £7.50. But, and some chicken, £4. What the hell is going on with UK prices at the moment? How are families supposed to afford to feed their families when, I mean, that was 80 quid and it was a refill shop, and I couldn't even I could probably make about 4 meals out of that if I tried with creativity.
So the average monthly salary in UK is £3,250. On paper, that sounds decent. Over £3,000 a month feels like you should be comfortable, right? But when you actually break it down, picture changes fast. Most people living alone still have responsibilities like rent or mortgage or council tax, bills, food, transport, phone, insurance. The list never ends, it goes on. Even without kids, life isn't cheap. The salary works out roughly around £800 a week. It sounds strong until you remember that's before tax, off tax, and national insurance, and suddenly that picture shrinks a lot more than people expect. And with prices constantly rising, especially around this time of the year, it makes you stop and think. So I'm genuinely curious, is £3,250 a month actually enough to live in today's UK? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because I don't think so.
I've just read something and it doesn't sit right. In Britain, as of late 2025, a working family needs to earn around £71,000 a year just to match the income of a jobless household with 3 kids. After the recent budget, families on full benefits can now take home £18,000 more than their neighbours working full-time on the national living wage. Let that sink in for a minute. For larger families, benefits can reach £55,000 a year, more than many professionals can earn after degrees, years of experience and full-time work. We now have millions of people on out-of-work benefits. Disability and health claims are soaring through the roof, and thousands more are being signed off every single day. And instead of fixing what's broken, the system keeps expanding, while work becomes less and less rewarding. So explain this to me. How does a country survive when going to work leaves you worse off than staying home? Where's the incentive to work anymore? At some point, we have to stop punishing the people who get up, go to work and keep this country running. You're welcome.
In 1975, the average UK house cost around £11,000. A 10% deposit was £1,100. That was roughly 37% of the average annual income at the time. Interest rates were actually high, about 11%, but your monthly payment, mortgage and taxes and insurance, was around £74 a month. With an average household income of £2,900 a year, that payment took roughly 30% of your income. Now let's look at the numbers in 2025. Today, the average house costs £286,000. That's if you live outside of London. In London, that's barely even a starter price. A 10% deposit is £28,600. That's nearly 90% of the average annual income. Deposits went from taking 37% of your income to almost 90%. That's a 130% jump. And even with interest rates lower, around 4.5% to 5%, the average monthly payment is still about £1,200, with the average household income around £33,000 to £34,000, which means 45% of your income goes straight to the mortgage. So no, buying a home today isn't a bit harder. It's the hardest it's ever been in modern UK history. And prices aren't dropping. Deposits aren't getting smaller. And nothing about the system is moving in your favour. So sitting on the sidelines won't change anything. But figuring out how to get in, that's what helps. 1975 isn't coming back. You need the strategy that works in 2025.
They've had to put security tags on it. We've got blocks of cheese in locked Perspex boxes. This isn't a bottle of whiskey in the latest FIFA on the Xbox. This is 2 of your key ingredients for a cheese omelette. We're one price hike away from having to keep Hovis Best of Both behind bulletproof glass, having Lurpak under 24-hour armed guard. I'm currently saving up my club card points in the hope that by Christmas I can treat myself to a new bag for life. That used to get me a weekend at Legoland. And I tell you what, if I did have money right now, I wouldn't be investing that in stocks and shares. I'd be buying myself 10 packs of lean beef mince. Put that in the freezer, because the way the price of that's going up, in a month's time you'll be able to sell that for 50% profit. That's a better return on investment than any ISA you're going to find right now. And it wouldn't be as bad, but I'm not even buying the food I want to buy anymore. I'm just buying whatever's on special offer. I went in there just now to get some Walker's Sensations, but I cannot bring myself to spend the best part of £3 on a packet of crisps. The only sensation I'm getting from that is the sensation of being mugged whilst stood next to a display of custard creams. So instead, I'm eating a packet of Pom Bears. An adult man sat in a car eating Pom Bears. Like a toddler that's just been rewarded for a good day at nursery.
Right, so people want to go on about the state of America and how much it costs to live in America and actually get your shopping. But let me tell you about the state of the UK. So I've just been to Lidl, or Aldi or Lidl, which one was it? It was Aldi. People are talking about in America how much the cost of living is really hitting people. Well, here in the UK, I've just been to Lidl and spent £160 on a small shop to start us off for the week, and it really does not consist of much. I mean, forgive the grey skies and the absolute misery that is the UK. But anyway, look at this. I've got 2 bottles or 2 packs of water, a couple of big ones there, and I've got, look, you see this? That bag and that bag there. 2 medium-sized shopping bags. And that has cost £160. Can you believe that?
Right now we're in that fucking era, aren't we, that no one really can remember what day it is, because we've done Christmas, we've done Boxing Day, then we've done day after, and then it's like you bump into people, don't you? Oh, did you survive? Oh, was you on Santa's fucking good list, and did you get everything? I didn't want anything, I didn't want to see anyone, I don't want to speak to you right now, because we're coming up to the other day, which is a complete fucking waste of oxygen. New Year's Eve, mate, where you all start going a little bit fucking weird, don't you? Or to those of you like me, Wednesday, right? Because you suddenly, you go to the same place you go every fucking week, mate, but suddenly it's got a door entry fee because it's got some 1920s fucking DJ that's got sound to light system and is going to play conga and time warp fucking 13 times over and then do some big countdown to fucking midnight like I ain't got to watch. Do you know what I mean? It's just that, you go out and everyone's dressed up. Everyone's dressed up in your local, aren't they? You go, where you normally got some fucking jeans and a V-neck on, everyone's like got suits and shit on. And they've got them light up glasses that are in stars saying 2025 on and some party hat, or some other people have come dressed as fucking dinosaurs or some other Batman outfit or something because they're really wacky people and they only come out once a year to drink a pint of fucking Pimm's, mate, or a Babysham chaser. Anyway, some kind of people. And then the couples, don't they? They all start coupling up more because, it's New Year, what are you going to do now, you know? And then they talk about resolutions and fucking casseroles that they've made and start doing a PDA, public displays of affection. And then at midnight, that's a whole fucking barrel vortex of absolute knackers and dog sweat and fucking bell whiff because you've got to apparently kiss someone at midnight, and I hate that shit, mate. I'm long gone before any fucking Edna comes running after me, mate, you know what I mean? But always, I'll kiss you. You won't kiss me at midnight. Right, and then there's just people snogging and cheering, and then them little fucking poppy things that have got like plastic explosives for kids, they get flew about everywhere, and then they're like fucking fireworks, which my dogs absolutely love, and then you all just go home at 5 past midnight. But before that, you've got little shots, haven't you? And you've got that one knobhead mate that's like, oh, hey! And he says it every fucking year, and you hate him, you want to just stick nut on. I'll see you next year. Fucking that is, yeah, because that's tomorrow, isn't it? But you won't see me next fucking year because hopefully I have an axe. Anyway, I'm not a massive fan of New Year's Eve, but I hope you all enjoy it because I'm a miserable bastard, and I'll see you all next year.
Why can't I afford to buy a fucking house? Not a fucking house, not a house for fucking, but a house. Potty mouth. You know, I work my little titties off. I work full time. I've got a bit of a side hustle. I have a relatively healthy deposit, I would say. But yeah, I still can't afford to buy a property. I mean, I have considered selling photos of my feet to maybe stump up the extra funds, but my trotters are rancid, to be fair, so no one's going to want those. I just find it so unfair. I really do. And what hope is there for our little babes, you know? It's pretty bleak, and maybe some will say actually mortgage isn't the be all and end all and actually just rent, but I don't know, it just feels maybe harder than it was 20 years ago, because I have had mortgages before, then I got divorced, so that's why I'm in this situation. But yeah,
What is going on with the cost of living? Please, can someone tell me when it's going to end? Everything keeps going up. Water, gas, electric, utility bills. Just everything is going up. Even the food. Years ago, you used to be able to buy a spaghetti bolognese, do it cheap, probably a few quid, happy days. Now, mince is £7.50 before you even counter any of the other ingredients. The price of chocolate has gone sky high. If you go to your local supermarket and look at chocolate, it used to be probably, you know, £3-4. It's gone up to £7-8 for chocolate. You know, everything, cheese behind counters because people are stealing cheese because it's so expensive. Like, what is going on? Why are people stealing cheese, for God's sake? You know, utility bills going up by £20-30 a pop, which doesn't sound like a lot, but when all your bills go up by £20-30 a pop every year, before you know it, your bills have gone up, within 1 year, £100-200. And that's happening every year. When is the cost of living going to start evening out or get a bit easier? Because it's crippling. It's absolutely crippling. I just don't get when it's going to end. It just seems to, like, never end. And it's just going to go up and up. And in 10 years' time, a grocery shop will cost you 500 quid. And that'll just be for some mincemeat, a bit of spaghetti, a bit of cheese, and before you know, you paid £500 for a bag of shopping. When does it stop? When will it stop? Please, someone tell me.
If you can't make ends meet right now, that isn't actually a personal failure. It's part of our political design. I'm the anti-racist mum, and I help white parents and professionals unlearn our racism so that we can create safer communities so all children and young people can thrive. If you're like me and you're choosing between heating and eating, and your rent's taking over half your income, and your wages have stagnated, it's not your fault. Whilst we're being told to blame migrants, single mums, disabled people, queer people, it's a distraction technique. Certainly no accident. It's actually a strategy. Because those people that have caused all the harm in our communities don't want us looking at them. And you know who are banking on us not looking up? Reform UK. They want us so exhausted, stressed and angry that working class people turn on each other rather than looking up to the rot at the top. Those greedy, wealth-hoarding parasites that just keep extracting from us. They fought against workers' protections. Their policies will strip support from the families struggling the most. If they gain power, working class people will be the most impacted. Because our struggle is real, but it requires real solutions, not scapegoats. So share this with somebody that's been convinced that this is some kind of personal failure, when really it's political manoeuvring. It never was their fault. And let me know in the comments, are you choosing between heating and food? Because I know often I am. And if you're ready to get uncomfortable, why not join me for Uncomfortable Conversations Thursday the 18th of the 12th, 12 till 2, where we're going to be dismantling all of the lies that we're conditioned by and coming up with some actual solutions.
People are being charged £10 just to enter Aldi stores across the nation. Yes, you heard it right, as they are trialling out a checkout free store, and it's left a lot of people frustrated. So if you use the popular shop like I do myself, you might want to keep an eye out for this, because how it works is they've got an AI generated system that scans and checks all the items that you pick up. So when you walk into the shop, your card will be deducted £10, and then whatever you pick up, put in your basket, your trolley, etc. When you get to the till, the £10 will be deducted off your final bill. However, if you go in and you're just getting, a pint of milk and some bread, comes to £3, you will get the refund of the £7. However, it can take 3 to 5 working days. And I don't know if this is the future of shopping itself. For me personally, I don't really think it's a good idea, especially for people who like cash, but we all know that they are, allegedly trying to phase all that out. But yeah, if you've seen any of these, I've heard they're down south now. We are obviously currently in the northwest of Liverpool. I haven't seen any, but I'm a regular goer to Aldi. So make sure you share it with your friends and let me know.
You can't live in the UK anymore. You can just about survive, and here are the numbers to prove it. Okay, so let's break this down quickly. I'm going to be looking at my screen. So you're looking at £1,100 rent, mortgage, council tax £150 to £200, energy £180 to £250, water £40 to £50, food £250 to £300. That's based on maybe 2 people, definitely not a family. Transport £100 to £200. Add that up and you're already £1,900 to £2,100 a month. Now this isn't bad budgeting, this isn't mismanagement of money. It's the cost of living. It's just completely overrunning all of our incomes. It's just, I can't fathom it. How are people surviving? I want to know. If you can tell me your breakdowns, tell me why you're struggling. I'd really want to know, just because I can share as well. There is also free support guides in my bio. Look, if you're struggling right now, there could be some support in there that might help.
People are outraged after Tesco have increased the prices of their carrier bags to a whopping 40p. Now, the British public are absolutely fuming about this. Now, in October 2015, the UK government announced that all carrier bags would be charged at 5p. In 2017, Tesco phased out these single-use plastic carrier bags, and essentially these are supposed to be bags for life. But this is where it gets interesting, because in 2021, Tesco then increased the prices from 5p to a whopping 10p. Between 2021 and 2025, Tesco then increased the price of their carrier bags to 30p. But in November 2025, they've now increased it to a massive 40p. Now, people online are going absolutely crazy about this. They're saying it's absolutely extortionate. They used to be free. Other people are saying this is actually really good because it makes people actually reuse their bags that they've already collected, or bring bags from home. Potentially, if they keep them in the car, they've always got these bags, and then essentially it's better for the environment and it's more eco-friendly. Now, a lot of people are saying that it's, you know, absolutely ludicrous that they're charging 40p for these bags, but I actually think personally it's a great thing, but other people aren't too happy about it. But let me know what you think.
What in the cost of living crisis bullshit it is. This is the best one yet. You are not going to believe what I'm about to show you. It's no fucking wonder shops are going out of business. So, Body Shop, shower gel. It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow. Says, let's go and get some bits and bobs. Can I get the shower gel, Jad? Yeah, no problem. Go to the till. Pay for it. Spilt some all down, mate. How much do you reckon this fucker was? Is it Body Shop? Yeah. No, Lush. Lush. Leave a comment now. I'm going to tell you, it's going to blow your mind. And you're going to say, well, you shouldn't have fucking bought it. Who cares? This cost me £26. That and a lip balm came to £35. I said to the woman at the till, hang on a second, you just charged me £35 for two things. She went, yeah, the body wash is £26. I was like, what the fuck? And my daughter was like, what do you think to this? Squirted it up my nose. So I've got at least £7 worth up my nose. And then this. Fucking 560 grams, 26.
The UK is officially broke. Like, nobody's got any money. Now, that's not to say everyone in the UK is broke. Not everyone's broke, obviously. But I run a removals company and our minimum charge is £3.20. So a lady rang, and this has been happening for months, basically all year. Obviously, we get a lot of jobs, but at the same time, we've noticed that a lot of people haven't got any money at all, and what they expect to what the quote to be and what it is a whole different thing, or what their budget is. I spoke to a lady, she's got X amount of boxes moving from ground floor to ground floor, blah blah blah. £3.20 is our minimum charge. Would you like to go ahead? Oh, I thought it was going to be about £80. £80 to get two people to come to you with a van. That's licensed, that's got insurance. I don't know what you're expecting. That's going to take at least, I would say the job's going to take at least 3 hours. Loading, unloading, yeah, everything up. About 3 hours. 3 hours minimum. So how are you expecting £80?
The UK is dying and nobody's doing nothing about it. Listen, you've all heard about the number of people leaving the UK, especially millionaires, and not even millionaires anymore, just everyday people are exiting the UK in massive numbers. But let me give you some stats to back it up. The UK's credit rating has gone down, which means that the government pays more interest on debt. Here's what it means for you. Higher interest rates, higher mortgages, less room for public spending. The falling birth rate has also been a massive problem because now it's showing more deaths than births in recent quarters, and this is showing a steady decline. That affects productivity, which is already low and half the rate of most advanced countries. Experts are saying that infrastructure that takes the UK 9 years to build takes other advanced countries 18 months. The average growth of the GDP since 2008 has been 1.3%. Compare that to previously where it was 3%. That's less than half. And everybody knows this is happening, but the real question is, what are you going to do about it? Because the government hasn't really recovered since 2008. So, time for change.
The thing that I despise the most about all of this thing, yeah, if they want to say that, okay, because of inflation, prices have gone up, fine. To some degree, I can understand that. But it's the fact that prices are going up and you're getting less of what you were getting before. You can notice it with the packets of crisps. Now you get a grab bag from Tesco, and the grab, or the family size that you're meant to share with someone, is the same size as crisps were back in the day when you were buying it for yourself. And those multi-packs that used to sell multiple bags of the same crisps are now selling packets of crisps that are tiny. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments.
So for the last 2 years, I have not lived in York, which is where I am now. I lived in a small village outside of York because it was a lot cheaper. So I've ordered my first York takeaway tonight since I've been back. And I genuinely cannot get over the prices of takeaways here. So I got myself an 11-inch chicken and mushroom pizza with a small portion of fries with cheese, obviously. And it was like 17, nearly 18 pounds. I couldn't believe it. And then this small village, like where I lived, you know, you could get 2 pizzas, decent sized pizzas with stuffed crust and chips for like 20 quid. It's genuinely insane how expensive York prices are. And I've always said York is like a wannabe London. It's like the northern version of London. Oh, mental. But like, I want to add, Food Warehouse do their own like takeaway range, and they do a cheese feast with stuffed crust with cheese, and it's like £2 something. So what I do is just buy like a small pack of chicken breast and put some frozen mushrooms on, put a bit of garlic granules on, and we're all good. So like, going from something that's cost me maybe a £5 up to like 20 quid is crazy.
Okay, so day number 398 of things that piss me off about this country. Tesco's reduced aisle. It's mental. Look how much stuff is in there. 27th of December. All goes out of date today. It's got about 30% off. Who remembers when this was like, everything was like 10p, 5p? Like, look at that. 2 chicken breasts, a £5. It goes out of date today. Code de boeuf, or in English, a cut of beef. 17 quid out of date today. Like, it can't be sold past today. That's salmon for 4 quid, £4 something. Pork mince. Pork mince. Who knows when pork mince was cheap? 3 quid, reduced from 4 quid. Insane. Did you know that Tesco made 3.2 billion profit in the last 2 years?
Shopping on a budget can be an absolute nightmare. Unless, obviously, you are one of those people sitting in Westminster, you know, 360 odd quid for lunch. One of those, you know, and then this video's just not for you. So this series is going to be Budget Meals with Bear. And today we are doing Mexican-style taco rice with nacho chips and dip. And for today's shop, we have come to Lidl. Yes, chosen supermarket for the day. So we dodged the shower. We're in Lidl. And I got to be fair, it's a fairly new shop and the centre aisles are really appealing. However, this is shopping on a budget, so I'm staying well clear of them. So we've got the 1 kilogram pack of lean beef mince, £6.19. Probably the most expensive. Now the good news with meals like this as well, you're obviously going to utilise some of the stuff you've already got at the house. So you're cutting your bill down because it's already there. 2 packs of the taco seasoning, 59p each. Got the individual red peppers, there's one. So we need 2 of them. Oh, there's another one, is that any good? Yeah, they'll do. What are they? 70 to 65p each. For the accompaniment, we have got Lidl's own tortilla chips. We're going for the lightly salty. And they are 89p. I mean, chopped tomatoes and tinned tomatoes, they're one in the same. So why buy an expensive brand? Pack of tomatoes. Ooh, they do the same thing. Salad and cherry. Oh, we'll go for the cherries. Lovely. 20p saving. Bag. Found them. Sour cream and chive. Right. Ripe and ready. They don't look ripe and ready to me. No. Hang on, what's that one? That one looks alright. Yeah, that'll do. 88p. How bloody embarrassing. Just pay for the shopping and walk straight into the security gate. I forgot you have to scan your receipt on the way out. Well, all in all, pretty successful trip that, you know. I'll let you know the grand total a bit later on and tune back in later as we cook it up and see what the family thinks. Big love.
These tax rises, they're not going to be enough. We're going to need more tax rises next year. It's only a matter of time. So it's pretty clear to me that Labour have completely abandoned any hope of Do you remember the expression fully costed, fully funded? So just to give you an idea of how far away we are from what they promised before the election, during the election and after the election. Even with all these taxes that we're raising, if we raise the amount that they say that they're going to raise, which is very doubtful because, like I said before, if you raise it in one place, it'll cost some more in another place, like universal credit, for example. So young people, destroy jobs for young people, end up in universal credit goes up. Employers' NI goes up. Net benefit zero. Probably a cost. But even with all these tax rises, we're still going to be borrowing money. We're still going to be borrowing tens of billions, even if their forecasts are right. And we all know that they're not going to be right, because there's going to be some other disaster, like them not bringing in anything like what they say they're going to bring in, because every time you increase taxes, you have an effect on economic growth. The whole thing that they were so keen on doing at all costs, as our number one priority, laser focused. A load of rubbish. They don't even know what it means. This is the problem when you've never had a job. Never had a job outside the public sector, I mean. We all know that people in the public sector don't have real jobs. Okay, I'm being flippant here, but I'm saying a lot of people, there are a lot of great people in the public sector, by the way, that I know, but also a lot of people that are asleep most of the time. I knew one guy that didn't turn up for like 3 days, and his director didn't even know where he was, and no one cared. And that's got nothing to do with it, I'm just saying. Positive discrimination is a thing in the public sector and the private sector. But, absolutely no. They've given up. They've completely given up on cost cutting, on economic growth, or anything else productive. So that's the reason why we're going to need more tax rises. Because every time they raise taxes, they realise that they're not going to raise as much as they think, because it's having an effect on economic growth and employment. We go round and round in this circle. In a year's time, we're going to be having exactly the same conversation. This 20 billion or whatever it is, that's nothing. Because they're going to need another 20 billion and another 20 billion. Because this will never end. Because they're never going to get any economic growth, and they cannot cut spending. You have to cut spending in order to sort out our problems, right? The UK's biggest problem is not lack of economic growth, it is a lack of control over government spending. We're spending 1.2 to 1.3 trillion a year, and we're still borrowing money, and it's still not enough. It's the alcoholic that always wants another 50. I'm sorry to keep going on about it, but it's true. So yeah, next year, remember what I said, next year I'll be back. I'll be having the same conversation, and I'll be just as annoyed, but I'll be sympathising. Because these tax rises, they're not going to be enough. We're going to need more tax rises next year. It's only a matter of time. Something to look forward to, isn't it? See you in the next one.
Poundland. Not sure. Could be something here, possibly. Let's open both bins. Okay. What's this? Christmas lights. Pepco LED lights. Okay, we've got a little plate and bowl set there. More Christmas stuff. Christmas is coming, as you can tell. What's that? Room spray is missing a nib, but I'm still going to take it. Pretty sure I can get a nib off a bottle. Bag of sugar there, which is split open. Ah, there's the cup for the ladybird set. Well, it's only one shoe.
What is this? Splash track. Nice. We'll take that. It's one of them swimming slides. That's cool. Lots of bins and stuff here. What are these? Some sort of bowl. Not sure. There's loads of them here. Ah, they're storage containers. But there's no lids for them. Unfortunately. There's a little bin there, which I think I might take. And get the top on. Yeah, we're going to take the bin. Make use of that. What is that in there? It's all fruit, I think. What are these? Oh, these are nice. Table mats. I'm going to take all these. They're really nice. There's a pile of them in here. Cool. I think that's it. That is it. Not bad. A few decent bits from here. Let's put these in here. Well, I'm going to chuck this lot in the van. I'll see you guys at the next spot.
Hi, I'm Rachel. If you're new here, specifically after the hunting debate, welcome. I talk about disability benefits, social justice and how policy actually affects real people, not just how it's framed in the headlines. And today I want to look at this particular claim. You may have seen today that parents working 1 day a week are somehow being paid the equivalent of £140,000. Let's unpack this, shall we? It sounds outrageous. It also isn't true, and here's why. That calculation comes from the Daily Hell, which suggests that a couple with 3 young children earning just over £10,000 between them could receive nearly £76,000 in benefits, giving them a total of £86,000, supposedly the equivalent to the take-home pay of someone on a £140,000 salary. On paper, that sounds like people are being paid a fortune for doing almost nothing. That's how they want it to sound as well. This is not wages. It's a stacking of multiple means-tested supports, many of which only exist because the family has high, unavoidable costs and needs. We're talking about childcare support, housing support, tied to local rent levels, child benefit, universal credit top-ups, disability benefits. None of this money is discretionary income. Comparing this to a £140,000 salary is deeply misleading. Someone earning £140,000 has pension contributions, has employment security, has career progression, has sick pay, has savings potential. A low-income family on benefits has none of those. They're not earning £86,000. They're having essential costs temporarily covered.
The 1 day a week framing is also deceptive. Benefits are tapered as earnings rise, support is withdrawn. If that family worked more hours, their benefits would fall sharply. There is no scenario where someone can casually scale this up and keep the same level of support. This kind of calculation exists to provoke anger and not inform. It's the same kind of rhetoric that we see every single day, and it pits workers against parents, taxpayers against claimants, and ignores the real issue: low wages, high rents, and unavoidable childcare. If supporting a family to survive costs this much, the problem isn't the benefits system, it's the cost of living. And no one on universal credit is living a £140,000 lifestyle. Headlines like this don't explain the system, they weaponise it. And that helps no one. How many of those people are disabled or carers who can't go out to work because they're currently saving the government an awful lot of money by providing that unpaid care themselves? It's not always black and white.
So it's December 23rd. I'm here in the capital, London, and I've volunteered for 3 8-hour shifts, as a van driver to help Crisis, a very good charity that help the homelessness throughout the UK. And I really want to build my awareness of how bad the situation is and as to where the increase in demands are being put onto the state. And behind me is London City Hall. And I really just want to, during this time of festivities, to experience how bad it can be to live on the streets. I mean, it's pretty cold up here right now. So I'm driving a van till 11 o'clock tonight. And I just want to build my own awareness and experience. So I've just finished a shift. It's midnight here. Checked in 150 homeless people. Quite moving, really. Quite a challenge, but very well run. Crisis, it's a charity that really do a great job, and the volunteers that here at Christmas time is it's pretty impressive. And awareness of the problem of homelessness, as people have been living in London for 30 odd years that have fallen out of the system for whatever reason. Quite moving. So it's a big problem. And some teachers that qualified from all over, really, but a lot of people living in London for a long time. So good experience, good for the soul. The other thing I wanted to say was that I have signed a confidentiality agreement and code of conduct. I'm not going to share any stories I've seen this evening, but I can tell you there was 150 genuine cases there of homelessness, and there's 1,000 people on the waiting list for the opportunity to have, when it's freezing cold here in London tonight, and just the thought of spending nights, and some of them haven't had showers for 3 months. It's pretty horrendous stories and genuine cases. As I say, about 1,000 people on the waiting list. So Crisis are doing an amazing job. The volunteers, there was 30 on shift in one of a few hotels in London and around the country. So it's a major problem because the cost of living crisis is really creating a big problem here in the UK. yeah, quite moving.
Let's just take a minute to talk about this cost of living business, because it is just outrageous. Actually outrageous. So I'm going to give you some examples. So food, like if you want to eat good quality, nice food, and that it's going to last for more than a day, you spend an absolute fortune. If you want to get supplements for yourself, for your kids, so just as an example, for my kids, if I was to get them all the supplements that they needed, so how many of them is there? 1, 2, 3. So there's about 5 or 6 supplements really that they need to be taking as a separate amount to get the full amount of each supplement. That would be £60 per child. So what is that? 6, 12, 180, is it? I'm terrible with maths, don't do maths. About 150 to £180 a month for 3 kids for supplements that are going to benefit them. It's disgusting. So that's that. Then there's clothes, like if you want decent, good quality clothes that are going to last, you're talking ridiculous amounts of money, especially for 3 kids. Fuel, I'm forever having to put fuel in. I reckon I spend about £40 to £50 a week on fuel. I could just go on, it's never ending. And before people start going, yeah, well, you could buy cheaper things, blah, blah, blah. I don't want cheap things. I want nice, good quality things that are going to last, that are going to benefit your body. It is just outrageous. It really is. Like food shopping, like I've tried shopping at Aldi's. All the fresh stuff doesn't last more than a day, 2 days, and it's just not nice. I normally shop at Tesco's, but even Tesco's fresh stuff, like the fruit and things like that, I've found that's not lasting, and it's like really small quantities. So I'm having to go to Sainsbury's now quite a lot for a lot of fresh stuff, because it's better quality and lasts a lot longer and is bigger in size as well, so you can get more out of it. Oh, mum problems. Anywho, if anyone else can relate to this, let me know in the comments. If you can give me any ideas of where I can get nice quality things that are slightly cheaper, then let me know. Yeah, rant over. I'm going now. Bye. Let's go rob a bank.
Is it worth even having a job in the UK anymore? Let's look at how messed up the benefits system is. I saw this on X and I wanted to share it. So scenario 1 is a single man earning £140,000 a year. That's a very, very quite unrealistic salary in the UK, but anyway. After tax, he takes home around £86,000. No benefits, that's it. Then we have scenario 2, a couple with 3 children. They earn about £10,000 between them and pay no tax. But they receive roughly £76,000 in benefits, taking their total household income to £86,000. Same outcome. Now, before anyone jumps in, yes, families with children need more support. You may have more outgoings. That's obvious. And I'm not blaming families at all. I'm blaming a ridiculous system. And also, I know this example is the upper end and perhaps a little more of an extreme example. Most people on benefits will get less. But the rules mean that it's possible that an effectively non-working family can match the take-home pay of a £140,000 earner, likely a very hard worker with that kind of salary, all whilst working parents feel like they're drowning. The system isn't fair, that's all I'm saying. The incentive to work hard, maybe have side businesses to make some extra money on the side, is slowly slipping away.
What in the cost of bullshit Britain? We've run to Tesco's because someone told me the dishwasher tablets are half price, and look at that, dishwasher tablets was £13.80 on your club card, £6.90. It's made by Finish, it's a good brand as well. Look at that, 48 tabs right now, £6.90. That's half price for 48 dishwasher tablets. That's a really good offer. Oh my God, I've just seen this. Look at this deal in Tesco right now. 24 cans of Diet Coke. It was £12, now £6.75. It's the same for the zero sugar as well. That works out to 28p for a can of Diet Coke or zero sugar Coca-Cola. Right now, £6.75 for 24 cans in Tesco. I've just seen this offer as well. Look at that. 8 cans of gingerbread Pepsi Max has gone down more than half price. It was £4.75. Now you're paying just £2 for 8 cans of gingerbread Pepsi Max. And for those that are still asking, the boneless salmon sides are still on offer in Tesco. More than half price, in fact. Look at that. Regular price was £24. If you use your club card, it's now £11.25. Look at that whole salmon side right now. That's a big one as well. That's on the club card right now. More than half price. I've just seen this offer as well. Look at that, the Ferry non-biopods, the extra large ones. They were £12, now £9.50. How many washes? 51 washes. That's not bad as well. Look at that, £9.50. Again, great value. If you like your tubs of spreadable anchor as well, look at that. Spreadable anchor was £4.45 on its regular price, now £2.75. This is a 400 gram spreadable anchor right now on offer using your club card.
Who else is pissed off with the cost of living? Houses are too expensive. My nan bought a 6-bedroom house back in the 60s for a bag of chips. I don't disagree in it, but there's a side to this argument that people don't seem to address when they're talking about it. Now, there's no denying things are disproportionately more expensive in 2025, right? However, it is disproportionately easier to make money in 2025 than it was decades ago. Extreme examples of this: a woman sold farts in a glass jar. Another one sold her bath water. You got a guy, and this was quite a few years ago, who sold pixels on his website for £1 each, and he sold 1 million of them. I've seen people walking around the range on TikTok, live, getting sent gifts. The creator I've made a TikTok and got like $250 for talking about Polish food or something. It's wild.
The young are knackered before the year even begins. The middle-aged are juggling debt like a circus act. And the elderly? We've become experts in heating one room and calling it sensible living. January in Britain isn't about improvement. It's about survival, with a calendar change. A country where the new year fills people with dread instead of hope has got something deeply wrong. Still, we'll carry on. We always do. Mostly because stopping costs more. Cheerio, and I will see you all in the next video.